podcast. We will be conducting a conversation inside the music with Kimmel Riddick.
Conversations inside the music, where we discuss the topics you think about when you're chilling with your fuzzy slippers and your onesie.
Yeah!
Welcome to Conversations Inside the Music with Kimmel Riddick.
What's the deal? Yours truly, the magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Hi, this is Jill Scott, a.k.a. Jilly de Philadelphia.
Hey, this is Gerald Beasley.
Conversations inside the music.
With my dear friend, the amazing Carol Riddick.
So get ready to join in on the conversation and chill with us on another edition of Conversations Inside the Music with Carol Riddick.
Hey, family. Hello and welcome to Conversations Inside the Music. I'm your host, Carol Riddick. Our guest today is a Philadelphia native who is known as a soul, jazz, and hip funk innovator. He's a former NAACP Image Award nominee and is a recipient of the Living Legend Award from the African American Museum Music Society. And he's performed with music industry greats, most notably Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and most recently, our beloved queen, Miss Patti LaBelle. Family, welcome to today's conversation with none other than Mr. Trombone himself, Mr. Jeff Bradshaw. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's up? I was about to say, who the hell is this guy? I'd like to meet him. Who is this guy with all this?
Listen,
This guy's amazing. Who is this guy?
I'm trying to tell you he is. Okay. Let me be the first to tell you that he is amazing. Okay? He is.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. I humbly accept.
Right.
Humbly.
Listen, you worked for it.
Yeah, we have.
Well,
Yes,
hello.
we have.
Hello. And you know what? And I'm grateful for the journey, as I know you are.
Absolutely. It's all about the journey.
Yeah, and we've had too much fun not to be grateful.
Correct.
Please, I still tell everybody about our shopping sprees. You got to be.
Listen, they were epic.
Wow. Listen, if there's another word, a better word to describe it than epic, then that's exactly what it was. I mean, shipping bags of shoes home, please, from different cities. Never get any better than that.
Country to country, shipping shoes home.
I know.
We was acting up. We was acting real crazy.
Listen, that's exactly what we were doing, okay? Hey, listen, I know like you two are grateful just to be able to have done that. You know, that's a once in a lifetime experience.
Right.
Who gets to say they went to another country and bought pairs of shoes?
Pairs.
So we're going to ask you a few questions today. First, let me say thank you for stopping by to chit chat, chat and chill, as I like to call it. We're interested in knowing who Mr. Jeff Bradshaw is when he's at home, when he's doing what he does, outside of being on the stage tearing it up. So let me ask you this. As a soloist and a successful artist yourself, what's your favorite part about working with other artists?
I think my favorite part about working with other artists is cooking. I feel like cooking on stage and in the studio. It's like being a chef working in the kitchen. It's like you get to collab with other artists. You get to tap into their creative concept and the way that they do things. And a lot of times when you pick, I think it's also really about picking the right people to work with too, because styles make fights, like in boxing. So when you pair the right two people together, it's going to be poetry in motion, or it's going to be a mess. But a lot of times, if you choose the right people, and a lot of times the synergies between the two artists, you kind of know the people that you should be working with. And most times, it's always magical. For me, it's always been magical.
I'm glad you said that. Talking about magic, I want to talk about your live recording at the Kimmel Center. Now, am I right in saying that you are the very first African-American artist to have recorded an album of its kind at the Kimmel Center?
Absolutely.
So you talk about having worked with, just the right individuals. How did you come up with that? I mean, as a person who was there and being able to experience and live through that, because that too was a once in a lifetime experience. How did you put that together?
I think my whole head was white and my whole beard was white by the end of that whole process. because I was so stressed out because it was the biggest night of my career. I felt like the live recording was a career defining recording. Like you can't take that away from me. What we did that night was historic, and but it was because of the love of each of those artists. I handpicked. I sat down with Robert Glasper, who was on the low was one of my executive producers, one of my co-producers for and we sat down and we mapped out all the people that I loved and all the people he liked and all the people that I'd worked with, and we handpicked each one of those artists. We decided that, hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, I just met Take Six on the Capitol Jazz Cruise. I've been a fan of theirs since the 80s. I said, wouldn't it be great if we could do this? And I was like, what song should I do with Take Six? I was like, um, I want to do like an Elder Bard song. So that'd be cool. I think they've recorded some backgrounds. They've kind of done something like that before. I called them. They were in. I had just came off the Capitol Jazz Cruise with Najee. He was in. Will Downing was a big brother. I called him. He was in. Kenny Lattimore, another big brother. He was in. Trombone Shorty, I had just met a year ago. He was in. And the list goes on and on. Eric and Tweet, and Rob, and Kim Burrell, who was like my big sister who I'd worked with before, and who is an alien, by the way. And
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
and I just asked. I just asked, but I thought that all of these people, and then we figured out what songs that these people should sing. What will be the wow moments? Having Kim Burrell sing a Music Soul Child song, having Bilal pay tribute to the sound of Philadelphia by having Bilal sing "Where Do We Go From Here," having Bilal sing a song that was done by right across the street with Philly International. So we picked the people, and I picked, which they all happen to be my friends and big brothers and semi-mentors, and we picked the songs that we thought would make wow moments, and that's how we did it.
Well,
and of course, they all said yes.
yeah, well, you did
They all said yes.
multiple wow moments. You're absolutely right about that. That can't be denied, and you're right. Nobody can take that away from you. Absolutely. That it's funny because I've watched you. We've known each other since the beginning of time, and I've listened to you grow, and I mean, I've done so in awe because you really do just get better with time. But one thing you do, well, listen, you already know there's love here. You already know.
I
But
know.
one thing I would like to know is what you do to continue to learn and grow and stay on top of your game. Or is there anything? Are you too an alien?
I troll the internet for young trombone players and young musicians that have this fire and hunger in their bellies, and they look at you like, man, you the OG, man. Like, man, you a living legend, man. And I draw from their energy, and it continues to keep me hungry when I see these incredible, phenomenal young trombone players from all over the world inboxing me day after day after day, sending me clips that they study, sending me clips that they transcribe from songs I've played on, from recordings I've played on, to actual albums of mine, songs they like, and just showing me how much they appreciate what I've done. And I watch and see their ability. And there's a bunch of young aliens out there that are just phenomenal musicians. And I draw from their hunger, and it replenishes my hunger. So I stay hungry, like I just got here. I feel like, I always keep the mentality that I just got here. I gotta work harder. I can't let anybody outwork me. And especially on trombone, I'm not even supposed to be here. I snuck in. That's how I feel, But once I got a taste of it, I was gonna grind, and I was gonna grind and kick in the door and find that success that I wanted. And like I said on my documentary, I wasn't gonna let. I'm not now or then was ever gonna let anybody to tell me that I couldn't have it.
Oh my goodness, Jeff, I felt that. I felt everything you just said, and
Yeah, man.
one thing that you just said leads me to ask you two different things. One is there anyone on your radar of whom you feel we should be aware?
It's a trombone player out of Florida who lives in Atlanta. I think he toured with Martin Medeski. I think he toured with the Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Mm.
Phenomenal jazz trombonist named Saunders Sermon, who has one of the most amazing voices I've ever heard, and has one of the most amazing trombone sounds and lyrical placement that I've ever heard on a trombone. So Saunders Sermons is his name, and he's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna say he's up and coming, but as a solo artist, he is up and coming as a solo artist. He's been in the game for some time now and have toured with, different people. But as a solo artist, he's got a couple records out. He's got a few records out that are really good. And he's just an amazing, amazing singer, writer, and trombonist. And he's just one of my favorites. I don't have the people that I listen to have been in the game a while and got plenty of skin in the game. But he's one of the people that inspired me, that I listen to, his playing, his singing, because that's my thing. I love to sing on stage and I love to play. And he's one of the people that I admire. And I don't think he knows it, but he's one of the people that I admire. I admire his the way he sings, and I admire the way he plays. It's really incredible. It's really, 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 really incredible. And he's more of a standard. He's more of a classic jazz artist with some soul moments. But Saunders Sermons is definitely one of my favorites.
Wow. You know what's so interesting about that question alone is that I've asked it of several people, and I'm expanding my own knowledge of
Mm-hmm.
the industry, because I have learned of so many people thus far with whom I was completely unfamiliar. That's a beautiful thing. The second question is, I mentioned in your introduction about you having received the Living Legend Award.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine. I want to know, how did that feel?
I cried. Because I think I was 49, which I'm now 50. And I think I was 49 when they gave that to me. And because you don't think about how many years that you've been in this business, and you don't think about what you've done. You don't count the albums you played on, and you don't count like how many gold albums have I played on, how many platinum albums have I played on, how many albums or songs have I performed on that have won Grammys. I'm not counting accolades and all of those things. I got my head down and I'm just working, I'm swimming to wherever the edge of the lake is, I'm just working. I'm not looking back at what I've done. I'm looking forward at what I'm going to do. So after 27 years in this game, they feel like, that I was a living legend. I'm humbled by it. I don't know. It's like, you think, should I be 70 years old to get that kind of award? But is it your works? Is it your impact on your community, on your music community, on your peer group? Maybe that's what it is. But I'm honored. I didn't ask for that. But if somebody wants to call me a living legend, and they think that the work I've done and that I've touched people in a way to make them want to give me something like that, and I'm taking it. My mom always said the best attitude is gratitude.
Oh, wait a minute now. I got to put that in my pocket.
You think 27 years was enough? And after what I've done and all the artists I've toured with and all the albums I've played on, and the films I've performed in, and if you think that if I'm a legend for Philly, if that's what they feel, I truly accept that. And I did. I cried the whole day. I would cry. I was thinking about my dad, and I cried the whole time. Cried the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we do. We're legacy building. We're legacy building. What's going to be my legacy? I put my kids to college. That I got Living Legend Awards and all these awards and those things. They're good to have, but I'm still out here just trying to see the world and record music and make music that touches and heals people. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, and that's why we love you. That's exactly why we love you.
Oh,
So let me ask you this, because this I don't know the answer to this question might even shock me, but what is a crazy but true or simply unknown fact about you?
a crazy but true unknown fact about me. Um, Maybe not crazy, but unknown fact. I don't think many people knew. I don't think many people know that I served in the military.
I didn't even know that.
See, I
I
don't think
did
many
not
people
know
know that I served in the military. That I was in the U.S. Army. I was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, in the Armored Artillery Division. It was a 13 Bravo. A lot of people don't even know that. How
that.
about that? But I gave it away though. On my first album, Bone Deep. If you look up in the corner, there's a little picture of me in my uniform.
You know what? But I saw that. I remember that. And let me tell you what I thought though. When I saw it, I said, was that his father?
Yeah,
I kept thinking it
yeah.
was your father.
It's a little picture of me on my first album, Bone Deep, on the album cover. Up in the left, I think in the left or right hand corner, is a picture of me in my uniform.
Jeff, I thought that was your father all of this
Yeah.
time.
A lot of people don't know that I'm a vet. A lot of people don't know I served a few years and then got hurt and came out on a medical. I was only in about 2.5 years, but I came home. I hurt my back, so I was released on. I came out on a medical. But yeah, a lot of people don't know I was in the military.
Okay, I'm going to digest. You're giving me pearls from my pocket. You're giving me food to digest.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me this. What do you do on your leisure time?
My girls are seniors in college, so they're away. So my 11-year son Madison, who everybody knows is my heart.
Yeah.
I try to spend as much time with him as I can. Play golf, smoke a cigar here or two, and really just listen to music and find more creative ways to find peace.
Hmm. That's where I am right now. I do love that about our maturation process, where
Right.
here we are right now. 50 is a beautiful thing. It's got some things. 50 is a,
It's
listen,
got some things on it.
it's
It's
got
got some
some
things
things.
on it.
It's got some things. It's got some things. Okay. It really does.
I embrace it though. I embrace it all. It's all good.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. I really do. So this next question, what, if anything, is there that you'd like to improve upon yourself?
Hmm. Hmm. A lot of times when I do things, I think about what other people are going to think.
Oof.
When it comes to, um, I fight that when recording music. What are they going to think? Like my peer group, like all the other people that aren't trombone players,
Mm-hmm.
like all the sax players and all the people in smooth jazz, or it's like, what are they going to think? Are they going to like this? Is this something? Is just going to think? And I fight that. Eventually I wind up recording whatever I feel like feels good to me, and I think the people, my fans, the people who love my music, they're going to appreciate what I give because it's natural, it's transparent, it's sincere. Because I'm gonna give you what I got. I can't be anybody else. I only know how to be Jeff Bradshaw. And at the end of the day, that's how I get through it. Like I only know how to be me. I can't be anybody else. With my instrument, I don't have a template of anybody before me. It's just me trailblazing this whole smooth and contemporary jazz field of music with a trombone. Like I don't have a template. It's just me. So I'm just cutting all these new roads for the young guys that are going to come behind me. But I'm just I'm like the Kurt Franklin of jazz, of smooth jazz. It's like because I'm playing trombone. It's like, no, we haven't seen anything like this. We haven't heard anything like this. I said, and because it hasn't been anything like me. And when I'm done, it won't be another one like me.
Mm.
That's how I feel, It's like I feel like Kurt Franklin is amazing. It's only gonna be one Kurt Franklin. Crazy, jumping all around, one of the greatest, one of the greatest one of the greatest writers of our time. He has the whole thing. Can't sing, but he got everything else.
He doesn't have to sing.
He got everything else,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's how I am. It was like self-taught. Didn't go to college, didn't go to music school, born with the gift I got, raised up in church, raised up in the clubs, and the hip hop clubs, and the R&B clubs, and the open mic clubs in Philly, and then right out on tour in the studios with some of the biggest artists in the world, and right out on tour. Yeah, I didn't come up in the jazz clubs like the traditional jazz musicians. I didn't go to the New School or Kappa or Berkeley or Juilliard or University of North Texas or any of those great institutions. I grew up in church. My father taught me how to play gospel hymns, I went from church to the club to the hip hop clubs and the neo soul clubs and Black Lily and all that, and I found my way. And my style comes from all of those things that I was touched by, all those things that touched me, all those places I went. My style came from all of those places and all of those artists I came across and played for and played with and recorded with. That's where it came from. So I can't tell a person, well, where did you go? Look, I learned how to play in church. God gave me this gift, and I cultivated it through all of these places and being on stage with Jill Scott when she was just a poet back in the 90s when nobody knew who she was other than a poet. Like those early days of Music Soul Child, those early days of all these artists that we worked with. It's like, man, I can't tell you because I'm blended. I'm like a jambalaya of all the things that I've been through and all the things that I've experienced. But at the beginning and the end of it is God. I was inspired by him, by God. He gave me this gift, and all of these godly, incredibly talented, super talented people with all these superpowers that some knew they had, some didn't know they had. But I encountered all these incredible people like you, like Vivian Green, like all of these people, Monique Harcum, my sisters who I was around who are all beasts, Ray Valverde, China Black, like all these incredible singers, people that I've encountered through my travels, on in my journey. I'm, I'm, my style is based upon all the things that touched me. So I just try to touch people through what I have. That's what I got. That's when I say that I'm me, but it's not gonna be another me. It's gonna be somebody else that was inspired by me. They ain't gonna sound like me, they ain't gonna look like me, but they're gonna be inspired by what I've done. And I'm inspired by the people that I've come in contact with. That's what I got. That's who Jeff Bradshaw is.
Listen, we love every bit of it though, so there's nothing wrong with that. People ask me all the time why I've not moved outside of Philadelphia.
Hmm.
I'm sure they ask you the same question, but
hmm
what do you tell them?
why haven't I left Philly?
Exactly.
First of all, I'm out. Next year I'm out. No. Yeah, I gotta get a second residence. I'm out. Um, I love my city.
I do. I do too.
I love my city. I love my Eagles. I love my Sixers.
Yes.
I love my Phillies. I love my Flyers. I love my Phantoms. I love my Reading Phillies. uh, I love my City Hall. I love Market Street. I love South Street. I love Broad Street, North and South. I love North Philly, where I'm from. I love the Richard Allen projects. I love the Cambridge Mart projects. I love all these places where I was raised. My Ben Franklin High School, started Fleischer Junior High, William Henry Harrison Elementary. I love my city. I love our attitude, and good or bad, you know, they belong to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love my town. I love the richness in the soil where the superpowers have created great music like Kenny Gamma, Leon Huff, and whatever was in the soil, what made them play that music and write those songs, and all of those people, the Boys the Men, Patti LaBelle, and Dutchy Bargali Wow,
Louis Diamond.
Phyllis Hyman, like all of these people that came through Philly, the Jacksons, Sly and the Family Stone, all of those through Philly to get a piece.
You better
You know,
tell it.
and I'm just so happy and excited. All the way on the gospel side with the Philadelphia Mass Choir. James Cleveland because Philadelphia Mass Choir was the first choir that James Cleveland recorded with. We got history in gospel and in jazz. I mean, come on, Philly Joe Jones, John Coltrane.
We
I
have
mean,
history in
on
every
every
genre.
genre, we have something special. So I'm just blessed to be from there. Philly, I love Philly, and Philly loves me. That's my city. I'm gonna give me a second residence because I just like around a little bit. But Philly's my town. I love Philly, because Philly first loved me.
I know that's right. I know that's right. First of all, let me just say thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, come
I
on.
appreciate you just for being who you are to me. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for supporting me and every effort
Of
that
course.
every endeavor, you know, you've never told me no, so I appreciate that.
And you never told me no either. You know,
Listen, because that's what we do.
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
But I will just say a simple thank you, and I know you know what that means coming from
Of course. Of course. Love you, babe.
me. Love you more.
Family, that wraps up another edition of Conversations Inside the Music with yours truly, Carol Riddick. As always, thank you so much for joining the conversations. If you like what you heard, please tell a friend and be sure to check out prior interviews on any media stream where you typically listen to your podcasts. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when new episodes are available. And follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Conversations Inside the Music and on Twitter at Chat and Chill. Whatever you do, be good to you and to those around you. And remember, to whom much is given, much is required. Catch you next time on another edition of Conversations Inside the Music with Carol Riddick.
Conversations Inside the Music with Carol Riddick.